had seen many people like them before, back when they had things and thought they were better than us. They called themselves Westerners, but they were just from the north. They used to come as tourists, as big men, to stand in front of the old things, buy old things, never new, never things we made or grew. But when things changed, well, a lot of things changed. The weather got more fierce, heavier when it rained, and then when it didn't rain for a long time. Of course, we were used to that. The Khamzim, the Sirocco, the Simoon. We've been living with heat and dust storms all our lives. The pale people? Not so much. Their agriculture could not survive. Their economy could not survive. And they were not, how do you say, tough. They had not survived anything before. They had no skills, no mentality. But they learned. Well, the ones who survived, they learned. They kept coming. It didn't matter what we threatened or how many we sent back. They kept coming. We told them we couldn't take everyone. But it's not far across the Mediterranean. They come in ships, in tiny boats, in rafts, try to just float across. And it's a long coast, very hard to stop everyone. And they arrived in such terrible state, in shock, dehydrated, malnourished even. We could not close our hearts. No one had seen pale refugees before. No one had seen whole camps of pale refugees before. And so many of them, white refugees fleeing to Africa. From chaos and disease and violence at home. It was funny, at first. They were in shock, like sheep in a slaughterhouse. Then they tried to treat it like a holiday, a joke. But cholera, typhoid, packed into the camps. Not so funny. We gave all we could, but we could not save them all. You never can. So we had all heard of the Ark. We used to say, why don't we just go to Mount Ararat and wait for it? But it wasn't for us, Celebrities, rich hippies, some bad science. And it was in the Pacific, a world away from us. Some interesting engineering, but it was, we thought, silly. Real world, real problems needing real solutions, not some eco-boutique, They were off in their own world, and we were still in the real one, trying to save it for everyone, not just the rich few, We've been doing feasibility tests on the early strains of the alcohol, doing some interesting things with it, things they hadn't thought of. Reducing the seeding time, making it faster, using monofilament to increase tensile strength, make it more flexible. So the Ark people asked who was doing these things. And then asked about my other degrees. And, well, they asked me to come to Ark. Told me to make a rendezvous. A last flight while they still could, picking up key personnel. Bringing them to the Ark. And I said, no. I didn't want to move to the Ark. I know, it's ridiculous. 10,000 of refugees from all over the world desperately trying to find a way there. And I'm asked to go and don't want to. But I didn't want to abandon my people, even the new people. I thought I should stay and help, Maybe, uh, maybe I should have, but the Ark offered security. I was afraid. I was afraid in my own home. I was afraid for my country, for my future. Things just seemed like they'd keep on getting worse. All of a sudden, I realized there was no future there. It was odd leaving my country, taking a plane when almost no civilian flights were still running. And it took so many flights, so many men with guns. It was terrible seeing the faces of all those who could not come with us. What do you say? What can you say? Some of those places were about to fall apart completely. Some already had. It was rule of the wolves. I still see their faces through the wire fences, their eyes drilling into me. They knew it was going to get worse. And I'd be somewhere safe. We have one last flight to get to the Ark. Our plane, with the Ark logo on the tail fin, is being refueled. There is a mob pressed against the perimeter fence, all the way around. Hundreds of pairs of eyes staring at us. When the plane starts its engines, they let out this roar, and the fence gives way. Our guards hold them back as long as they can. But warning shots don't scare them anymore. One of the guards, he sacrifices himself, draws the mob's attention, holds them off for a few seconds to save us. He gave his life so we could leave. Because he believed my life, my knowledge, my skills made me worth more than him. I think of him every day. We only just make it. The plane is only just nose up when we run out of runway. The undercarriage hits foliage before we start to climb. I can hear shots hit the fuselage. And then the pilot doesn't fly out over the sea. He flies back inland and dives back towards the ground. He tells us later he does it to misdirect anyone plotting our course before dropping down below radar. But at the time, land was the last place we wanted to be. Once he's sure we're not being tracked, the pilot heads us back out over the sea, flying under radar height. After the adrenaline high, the slump. I only realize as I'm asleep when someone shakes me awake. It's very cold. We're flying so close to the sea, you can see the waves crest. There is nothing but ocean. We're flying nowhere. What am I doing? We belong on land. We can't live here. And then I see the first marker buoys. And then the beginning of the perimeter breakwater. And finally, the Ark. No one forgets the first time they see Founder's Tower. It's better than on TV. It's like an ivory spear, white against blue. The Ark coral scatters the light, so it seems to glow. And this huge heap of refugee housing, shipping containers, ships swaying at anchor. The lower Ark hadn't all rusted by then. It was still every kind of color. It looked like a children's toy box. All jumbled up, all floating in the middle of the sea. And I thought, is it. This is my country now.